talk to him. Let's talk to him. Let's talk to him. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Late Night Show. Oh, I forgot I'm hooked up to the mic. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. I'm your host, Dr. Kojo, and I'm checking in. Hey, baby. I'm checking in tonight. I'm clocking in tonight so that we can talk about ADHD and relationships. Love bombing is what we're talking about today. We're talking about love bombing and ADHD. All right. Why this sometimes happens, what it can look like, and if this is being done on purpose. If you're dating somebody with ADHD, are they really a narcissist? Are they trying to love bomb you? And why do things get so funky when it looks like they pull back? Are they pulling back? Did they plan to do this on purpose, or they're just returning to who they actually are? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about in tonight's live stream. So I want you all to go ahead and introduce yourself. Use the comment section to let me know your name and where you're checking in from. All right. We're streaming live today on a couple of different platforms. We're streaming live on TikTok, #1. We're streaming live on LinkedIn. Yes, you can go live on LinkedIn. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on YouTube. So we're live on the tube. And Streamer is a platform that we are streaming with. We are not streaming on X. I tried to get X rolling, but we're not streaming on X. But we tried. We still have a great show planned for y'all tonight. Let me see where people are checking in from. Sarah, how are you? Good to see you. I don't follow live feeds and that really. I appreciate you. Thank you for your patience. Sarah's checking in from Arkansas. We got Zane checking in from Austin, Texas. I talk about love bombing and future bombing often. What's future bombing? Is that love bombing in advance? We got Moko checking in from Memphis, Tennessee. All right. We got Zilla on TikTok saying she'll see me after tax refund season. Well, you come out to a comedy show after taxes? Okay. I won't forget that. When you get your refund, make sure you put some money away and you can come out to a show. M checking in from Toronto. What's going on, M? Shh. Says, which person in your family has ADHD? All of them. It runs in families. Zilla, I hope to see you at a show. We have Lorelei, or Lorelei, I'm not sure how you say it, but Lorelei checking in from Anchorage, Alaska. Wonderful town, wonderful people. Leah Mariah, good to see you. We have Amma checking in from Finland. I love it when my boys and girls from overseas check in. Finland, okay. Is that a white girl named Amma? What? Yeah, it's a white girl named Amma. Okay, respect. Okay. Respect. We love to see it. Sarah's diagnosed ADHD by BPD. Okay. Makes for an interesting combination. So we have people checking in from all across the world tonight. I see people's comments. People are engaged. I do appreciate you. Somebody commented about hypersexuality being associated with ADHD. I do believe that that's true. But you can see hypersexuality in depression. You can see it in bipolar. You can see it in somebody who doesn't have a diagnosable mental health condition. But yes, you can see that within ADHD. Let me see what Zane's talking about right here. Zane said, future bombing. You learn something every day. Future bombing is when you breadcrumb someone into feeling hopeful for the future about what they could have, maybe materialistic, or possibly in the hopes that someone will change the ways that are typically more toxic. For example, I want to do that anymore. Okay. Interesting. I'm a little bit lost, but I get the future bombing in the sense that you breadcrumb somebody into feeling hopeful for the future. That sounds a bit more intentional than love bombing. But yeah, but yeah. Dr. Sadesh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Zane, I know what you meant. I appreciate you. On TikTok, I see people talking. I appreciate y'all for checking in on TikTok. Thank you for your attention. Love bombing, guys. We're talking about love bombing tonight, right? The love bomber. What does a love bomber look like? And are you a love bomber? You gotta watch out for these people who have bombs. These love bombing people, the love bombing men and women of the world just walking around bombing everybody. Is this being done on purpose? Is it being done on purpose? Let's talk about it. All right. So when you hear the term love bombing, I think we have a negative connotation that is normally associated with it. You think, oh, this is a love bomber. This is somebody who just they pour on the love in the beginning. They pour on the love, and at some point, they're just gonna bring it back. They're gonna bring it back, and you're gonna feel empty. You're gonna feel lost. You're gonna feel as if the person never loved you, which could be the case. Not every love bomber is innocent, and not every love bomber is guilty. All right. So we just cannot assume. But when you're a victim of love bombing, you're going to feel as if you were done wrong. All right. I'm not sure if we've had any victims of love bombing here, but if you've ever been love bombed, it's not a good feeling. You're going to feel like you were done wrong. All right. So this is a safe space over here. This is a space where Republicans and Democrats kiss in the comment section, and we're able to tell the truth. All right. We can keep it funky and we can keep it fresh. So in the comment section, if you have ever been love bombed, put a 1 in the chat. And if you are the love bomber, put a 2 in the chat. Like I said, this is a safe space. This is the safest of spaces. Put a 1 in the chat if you have been a victim of love bombing. Put a 2 in the chat if you have been the love bomber. And heck, if you've done both, if you've been the love bomber and the love bombee, drop a 1 and 2 in the chat. Let me see what we have here tonight. Naomi on TikTok says, I used to be too. Okay. So that was a love bomber. Sav says 1 and 2. So they've been a victim and the love bomber as well. Blake has been love bombed. Rita has been love bombed. Sarah, if you don't know, that's fine too. I don't know. It's a perfectly normal answer. Tiana, 1 and 2. Because first they do it, then I do it, then it ends. If you have no idea, 3. If you have no idea, 3. So there's a couple people who've been the love bomber and the love bombee. Respect. Angel Hill says chronically 1. So Angel is always being love bombed. Katie asks, what's love bombing? All right, Katie, let's role play right here. So love bombing is when I meet Katie at, my first thought's the bar, but I don't go to the bar like that. I meet Katie at a tailgate at a football game, and I'm like, oh, Kate, I think you're cool. We exchange numbers, and then we go on a first date. Then we go on a second date the next day. Then we go on a third date the next day. Then we go on a fourth date the next day. It may not happen like that in 2025, but Katie and I see each other a lot, and we're pouring it on each other hot and heavy. Or if I'm the love bomber, I'm just pouring all this affection. I'm showering Katie with compliments and gifts. I'm spending so much time with her. I'm saying that she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it might not be that obvious, but I'm pouring it on hot and heavy, right? It's the most amazing 3 weeks of your life. And then after that, gradually, slowly but surely, the pullback starts to happen. You see and you hear me less. You reach out to me, oh, Kojo, I haven't heard from you. oh, I'm just busy. I'm tired. Like, I gotta go to the gym. I'm busy. I got patience. I, I have like a comedy show here. Like I'm traveling. I can't make the time. Katie starts to feel a little more alone. A week goes by, doesn't hear from me. Next week goes by, might hear from me here and there, but the next 3 weeks are very different from the first 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks, it was like a romance, like a whirlwind of a love. Like this is the type of love you see in Disney movies. You feel like this is too good to be true, which is normally a sign of love bombing when it's too good to be true. If you're ever in a situation where you're like, is this too good to be true? There's a good chance that it is too good to be true. Generally speaking, statistically speaking, I mean, it could be true, but chances are it's probably too good to actually be true. Your intuition is not leading you wrong. And this is something that people with ADHD can do. And if you're asking me, I have been a love bomber and I've also been the love bombee. And sometimes that's happened at the same time. And it's a mutual love bomb. Mutual love bomb. All right. And when you're in the middle of a mutual love bomb, this actually feels really good. When you're the one that's being love bombed, right? You're the love bombee. Look at us making up these words. It feels bad. But when it's a mutual love bomb, it feels amazing. It feels amazing. And until y'all come crashing down to earth, you're not really worried about what's going on. Because it just feels so good. It feels so good. And if you have ADHD, you have to be careful dating. You got to be careful dating. And I have a rule for myself. I got a rule for myself, and I thought it was silly. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, Kudo, this is a good rule. That's a good rule. I came up with this rule a couple years ago, and I was telling my brothers about the rule. I wanted them to implement it. I said, when I'm talking to a new girl, I make sure that I don't see her more than once a week. Sounds kind of mean, sounds harsh, sounds cruel, but I put that rule there for a reason. I don't care how much I like you. Once a week. Once a week. And every time in my life that I broke this rule, I paid for it. I paid dearly. Because you go out on the first date, you're vibing with Shawty, everything is cool. Oh, all right, cool, man. This is a great Tuesday night. I'm not doing anything on Thursday. You can come over. No. I'll never forget one day my brothers were over my house in LA, and my brothers were at the house. They just flew into LA. I picked them up at the airport. We're catching up. We're playing MLB The Show. We're staying up. This is summertime, right? So we're staying up. We're just having fun, right? And I bring over a girl that I was talking to. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, this is, call me. This is Robert. Call me Rob. I'm talking to this girl, okay? It was a Sunday. They saw this girl. They met her. Like, oh, she's cool. She's pretty, whatever. This same girl came back to the crib on a Monday. And when she walked into the house, you should have seen the looks on my brother's faces. They were shocked. They're like, I'm like, what happened? They're like, she came over on back-to-back days. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I broke my rule. Oh, I broke my rule. And I was feeling her, but I forgot. I'm like, I can't see her more than once a week. What am I doing? And the way things turned out, didn't work out. And the reason why it didn't work out was not because I brought her over like back-to-back days. It was more so me, returning back to my natural form and being busy. But I broke the rule, and I'm like, this is why I'm only going to stick to 1 day per week. And it can sound a bit harsh. It can also sound a bit narcissistic. But if you have an ADHD brain like mine, Stick it to once a week in the early stages. All right. Now, if you've been married for 15 years, this is not for you. If you've been dating for a couple of years, this is not for you. This is not a license to skip out and date night with your partner, or this is not an excuse to not see your person. Okay. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if, like, you just met somebody 2 weeks ago on Hinge, you might want to implement this if you have ADHD and you have the type of brain that craves novelty. You crave new experiences. You get bored of things easily. Sometimes the things that you get bored of are people. And you can feel pretty damn bad when you get bored of somebody and they realize that the energy is different. It's like you switched up on them. Like you pour all this love on them and you pulled it back. You didn't mean to do it. It wasn't intentional, but you just start to return back to yourself. Love bombing. Love bombing. You break all the rules when you meet somebody and you feel in them too much. And if you've been in the game long enough, you know that there is some truth to taking your time. Let it be a slow burn. Let it be a slow burn. Take your time. Take your time. Look at the comments here on TikTok. Sam says, great advice, a rule. Keeps in reality too. It keeps you in reality because a lot of times a crush is just a lack of information. You like the person because you're not seeing them all the time. This is why when you move in with somebody, a lot of relationships suffer because when they were coming over to your place and you were going to their place, the romance was like, it was hot and heavy. Like you felt like the person was sexy. You felt like you were like, everything felt so good. But then when they moved in with you and then, they started farting all over the place and then they're peeing with the door open and like the spark is gone. It's like, like I know too much about the person. You remove all mystery. And sometimes they become a glorified roommate, And if you're neurodivergent, if you're a card-carrying member of the neurodivergent society, you probably don't like people all up in your space anyway. You need some space to breathe in and breathe out. Living with somebody else that isn't yourself is very hard. It's hard. And you can love somebody and still be like, damn, like I love you, but damn. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Lavia says, I heard dating is difficult in LA. Yes, dating is difficult in LA because we're all vain. We all love ourselves too much and we're self-centered. I'm no different, but I think dating is hard anywhere in general in 2025. It's pretty hard. But Los Angeles is a different, like this, take us out of the equation because we're very weird in Los Angeles. We're in shape and we're attractive and we're handsome and we look good, but we are a shallow people. And like I said, I'm no different. Seriously, Dre says, how do you know the difference between love bombing and ADHD hyperfixation? Sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's both. When you are hyperfixated on a person, you tend to love bomb them. That's what happens. When you are hyperfixated on anything, if you're hyperfixated on a certain task, I mean, you're love bombing the task. If a person is your hyperfixation, you're going to love bomb them. You have to make up rules for yourself, or else you'll double and you'll triple text and your self-respect will go out the window. What are we going to do? Apple user, no, we are shallow people in Los Angeles. We're shallow. We're shallow. This is a safe space where we can tell the truth. We are very shallow. The version of me that I put out into the internet is a gracious and kind and caring man. Yes, I'm a very gracious person, but when it comes to dating, I'm shallow. Yeah, and that's me. It's fine. You pick the person that you're with. The least you can do is be attracted to them. Yeah, we're shallow, but we're not the only city that's shallow. They're also shallow in New York City, and in Houston, and in Atlanta. But it's a little, life is not real in California in general. I think separate houses are okay. Apple user, love of the show. Ooh, ooh. This is why I love my community, because we can keep it real. Sometimes you want your person to live in a separate house. Like, that's a fantasy of mine. I live in a house and I'm here with my dog Zoe, and I get to come on my live stream and I can talk to my community and I can live life. And then I just buy the house, like the next house over. My old lady can be over there. Like, I don't want you to be too far. Like, I want to open up my window and be like, hey. But like, I need this space to fart over here and to, you know, kick over my dog. Like, I need my space. How does love bombing impact marriages? Well, look, if you love bombed your way into a marriage, I think it worked out. I think it worked out. Yeah. As long as y'all are okay with, the cadence of y'all's relationship, then I guess you'd say it worked out. Joseph asks if you can love bomb a sibling. I mean, not the way that I've defined it here, but perhaps. Sarah, do you live in a different house from your wife? Way before inviting them to your village. Facts. Give us some time before you let them come by the house. How I was dating as a physician. I'm a doctor, not a physician, but dating is interesting. But I mean, dating is interesting for me because of me being a public figure, not so much that I'm a doctor. I mean, being a doctor is, people assume that you have money and that you have resources, which is, true for the most part. But I think what goes further than like financial resources is clout. Clout is a new drug nowadays. You can have clout and followers online and not have a penny to your name, and people are gonna want to date you. And Dr. Mimi says, so hard for me as a Black female doctor finding someone. A lady doctor and a guy doctor dating is two different things. So I mean, I believe that as a Black male doctor versus a Black female doctor is going to be harder for the Black female, and there's stats that show that. And in general, the more money a woman makes, the lower her dating options are. So I mean, if I were a woman, I'd say, I don't care. Give me the bag. Give me the bag, and I'll date whatever guy. That's if I were a woman. I'd say that. But your options as a woman, the more money you make, tends to be slimmer, and that's what the stats say. Dr. Mimi, that sucks. That sucks. But at least you're paid. At least you're paid. Sab said, separate rooms. I need my own space. I'm happy y'all starting to see what I'm seeing. I want my own bedroom so badly. This is why we need neurodivergence to have more of a voice in this, because separate bedrooms and sometimes a separate house is a very divergent way to think, but these are the brains that we have. Atlanta is also not a real place. Yes, Atlanta is not a real place either for dating. Like, the same Atlanta back in 2010 when I graduated high school is a different Atlanta in 2025. Atlanta is not a real place. It's maybe only the ATL might be the only other place that's, I don't know. I think it's worse to date in Atlanta than LA. I can at least navigate LA. Atlanta is too much. Is it shallow or you like what you like? Oh no, it's both. It's shallow and it is I like what I like. Yeah, it's both. I'm not gonna lie to myself. And guys, you have to understand that I said this on last night's live stream. You pick the person that you date. So if things are not working out, that's on you. If things are working out, that's on you. You pick the person that you date. You don't get to pick parents. You don't pick siblings. And to some extent, you don't pick your childhood friends because proximity is how we make friends growing up. And as you get older, you do get to pick your friends. But you pick the person that you date. So you have to understand that if you apply some intentionality to how you date, you get to be with the person that you want to be with. Everything from making sure that you don't spend too much time with them in the beginning, you monitor your love bombing tendencies. You pick the person that you're with. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. What makes me shallow? Uh, my standards for like who I'll date, and I'm not gonna get into that because I just won't get into that. But I mean, I go to the gym every day. Like I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm handsome. I love myself. I love my dog. I love God. I love my family. So yeah, I like what I like, but I'm kind to everybody. I don't let my dating purposes get in. Like I'll talk to anybody. Like I'll talk. Come up to me at the airport. I love people. I love people. I love all people. But dating wise, you know, fairly shallow. I lock myself in a room after work. Early days of married life, and you probably just need some space. You probably just need your own room to fart in. What's my arm routine? I mean, uh, the curls. So like my workout routine is push and then pull, and then legs, and then push again and then pull. But the second push and pull days of the week will be light. So on pull days, say it's a pull day. So you have your bicep curls, and then you have the machine where you can do the same thing, and then you have another machine where you can kind of go like this, and then you have the other machine where you have the flies like that. Also some chest as well. Dr. Mimi says the guys that make less often can't deal with it because of the ego. I got to disagree with you right there. I don't think that guys who make less than women struggle because of the ego. I think it's because when women make a lot of money, or when people make a lot of money, they don't deal with the same amount of BS. Your tolerance for BS lowers the more money you make. So if you're a woman and you're dating and you make a lot of money, you're not going to deal with certain things. So if a guy's talking to you crazy, you talk to him crazy right back. And guys work off of respect. So I mean, all these things combine for a perfect storm. Yeah. Drain says, I don't see that as shallow. Yeah. I mean, it could be seen as shallow. But I think what's even worse are some people who get with people that they're not attracted to, but they pick that person because they're the safe person. You see all the time. And I was talking to my friend today, and we're talking about a person that we know, a mutual person that we know, who would pick guys because she thought that they were unattractive. And then when the guys would cheat on her, she'd get even more offended. Why don't you just pick the guy that you want and take your time so that way you don't love bomb them? There's actually data that says high earning men choose and marry high earning women more than not. Oh, okay. I haven't seen that data, but it makes some sense to me. It makes some sense to me. It makes some sense to me. And no, Sav, you're right. I got some diabolical farts. So I would, me wanting to not fart and bomb anybody is just me looking out for you. I'm looking out for y'all. But I want y'all to, smell these diabolical farts. Like I got protein farts. So I'm not going to do that to you. And Jimmy says, dang, Atlanta's tough. I mean, like Atlanta used to be cool back in the day, back when you can go to a teen club and they were playing Travis Porter, Waka Flocka Flame. This new Atlanta, too much. I kind of want a separate house for my spouse. Right. See, Lyra, only in environments like these can we talk about this without shame. I don't think this is the average person's thought. You just, because it's cheaper to have one house. And I know it is. It doesn't make sense financially. Sometimes you just want some space, though. You just want some space. Oh, Sarah says, my wife lives with me, but she understands I need separate time. That's good. Because it's a need. It's not a want. It's a need. It's a need. What's your advice for having ADHD and taking everything super personal? Gabrielle, you have to understand that people project all the time. So if you take things personally, you're going to wound yourself unintentionally, and that's not fair to you or to the other person, but mainly it's not fair to you. Leilani, what's going on? My cousin and I bond over your content as we stem together and our brains crash on us. I like that. 80% people date and marry in their socioeconomic status. That makes sense to me. I haven't seen that evidence, but it makes sense to me because if you're making a certain amount of money, you're gonna fear that the other person is after you for your resources unless they have the same. So that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I can see that. I can see that. Talk to him, Leilani. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Bunny said, if I had it my way, my partner and I would be next door neighbors. Yeah. And sometimes you just need space. You just need space. You just need space. And that's part of the reason why the love bombing, like you do crash out. Because a lot of these love bombing relationships, they would have worked out if you paced yourself and you gave yourself time to miss a person and you gave yourself space. Because if you know that you have a neurodivergent brain and that you require space, why would you put yourself in situations where you don't get the space that you need? And I'm asking why. I'm also asking myself that I do this. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but why do we put ourselves in these positions where we do this, and then after a while we're like, hey, please, like, let me go. Let me go. And the person won't let you go, so you're like, give me my arm. Get the heck away from me. So if we can be preemptive and just not put ourselves in these positions, we would save ourselves a lot of heartbreak. A lot of heartbreak. Women made me choose a career that I chose. Well, I got into psychiatry on accident, but I stayed on purpose. Once I realized I was good at this, I just kept going. And I'm very happy that I stuck with it. Oh, no, Apple user, you're good. You good. And Blaine, thank you for blocking the spammer, please. Thank you. We don't want the spamming. We want people to enjoy the live stream. Let's see. Carmen says, I stay up late just to have my alone time. Estimation recharges me as I go as far as getting. Wow. Carmen, wow. But this makes perfect sense to me. Sometimes you just need some time and space to yourself. And this is not a bad idea to get a hotel in your own city. Because now you don't have to worry about your Doom pals. You don't have to worry about the dishes in the sink. You can go to the hotel and you can make a mess. Not that you should do that on purpose, but you can just let your hair down and enjoy life. They'll come and clean it in the morning. You go downstairs, you get the free breakfast. Go get a workout in. You go swim in the pool. You come back up to your room, and then you can think clearly. You can write. This is a fantastic idea. I might have to do this soon. Great idea, Carmen. Great idea. I like this. I love it. Kel says, my wife sends me to a hotel occasionally to be alone and recharge. W for your wife. W for your wife. I love that. I love that. Sab, I did get a new life hack. I love that. I love that. Leilani, it's always good when you catch a live stream. ADHD hyperfixation versus plus ADHD. Oh, so Bunny has a formula for ADHD love bombing. Let's see if y'all agree. What was my mouth? The protein shake? Anyway, Bunny said ADHD love bombing is hyperfixation plus hypersexuality. Yeah, it checks out. It checks out. And this is only a problem when it starts to fade. Because while you're in the middle of the Mickey Ficky, you're not complaining. But when the love on one end or the hyperfixation on one end ends, then it gets a bit awkward. It gets a bit awkward. Do I have a regular live schedule again? We're working on making it regular. I saw that I don't have to travel this weekend for the first time in a month and a half. I'm like, okay, I get to stay in the same spot for like 10 days. I get to go live. The live really should be 6 p.m. California time, 9 o'clock East Coast time. And we will aim for that. We will definitely aim for that. Because it did not, we did not get it today at the regular time, but 6:30 California time. And I'll tell John that we'll aim for that. Because I like going live on consecutive days. It makes me feel good. I was diagnosed ADHD 46 years old after my kids were diagnosed. Started to make sense. Any advice for a broke nursing student struggling during finals? Keep your expenses low and prioritize getting a good grade. Like I would eat oodles and noodles in college and I would feel like $1 million as long as I got the good grades. Leilani, so it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are my actual live stream days. At a minimum, I want to hit Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. California time. But we're throwing in these bonus live streams on the Wednesdays and the Fridays. I might be throwing some weekend live streams. But Monday through Friday at a minimum. Or Tuesday and Thursday at a minimum. And I'm aiming for Monday through Friday. And Sarah says, when you care nothing about the sexual aspect, Sarah, I still think it could be love bombing if you don't care about the sexual aspect. Because you don't have to, hook up with somebody for it to be love bombing. You can spend all your time with them. Because intimacy is like a deep form of connection. And you can do that with your clothes on. So it could still be love bombing like that. Heavy on the ramen noodles and not right. Yeah, Leilani, I love live stream. I love live stream. Let me see. The Netherlands, thank you for joining the live stream. I appreciate you. Leah Dove, thank you for the rose. And everybody who's dropping the TikTok gifts, I appreciate y'all. Couldn't find the original article, but this one also supports the high status men choose ambitious. Ambitious what? What's the rest of it? And I agree with Leilani saying intimacy is more than extracurricular activities. I agree. Intimacy can be watching a movie marathon with somebody that you're getting to know. It can look like you spending a Saturday evening watching Sister Act 1 and 2, or watching the Transformers series, or watching Home Alone 1 and 2. I think there's a 3 for Home Alone. I'm not sure. It can look like you going out for ice cream. You could spend $14 a night on a specific night. Go out and get ice cream, and that can be intimate. And y'all can just walk in the park. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be intimate. Sometimes it's the little things. Sometimes those moments of intimacy like form a deeper bond than hooking up with somebody. More times than not, it forms a really deep bond. So you could do this on back-to-back days where you see somebody 3 days in a row. You don't spend a lot of money. You don't hook up with them, but you're building this attachment to the person. And if you do this too many times in a row, it can make it difficult when one person pulls back. And this can be done with anybody. A lot of people who are together right now aren't together because they like each other. They're together because they spent so much time around each other and they had no choice but to form a connection. Like this dog right here, that's look at Shiesty. This dog that's right here. If this was somebody else's dog and I was dog sitting for a month, by the time the month is over, it'll be very difficult for me to give the dog back. Now, this is my dog, but it'd be very hard to get the dog back because I would have formed an emotional connection to the dog. Or I can use cats as an example. I don't like cats at all. But if I was cat sitting, if that's a thing, because cats are very independent. If I was cat sitting and I was with a cat for a month, when it's time to give up the cat, it'd be very difficult because like, damn, like I didn't like the cat at first, but now we spent so much time together. We spent every day together for a month. Now it's gonna be hard for me to give up the cat because like I kind of like the cat. Like I might want the cat. I might go get my own cat now. So anytime you spend a lot of time with somebody, it can be hard to pull back. Hard to pull back. 8 right, exactly. 8:30 Central. So 8:30 p.m. in Tennessee. That's the time that we're aiming for. Exactly. Shiesty, you heard her name? She sleeps upside down. Shiesty. Show them who you are, Shiesty. Shiesty. See, even if you didn't like dogs, this dog will grow on you. Even if you were scared of dogs, the dog will grow on you because that's what happens when you spend so much time. Intimacy with a dog. The little moments do matter more. And Andrea, I think Sister Act 2 is better than Sister Act 1. I'm happy you said that because most sequels are not better than like the first movie. But Sister Act 2 is better than Sister Act 1. I watched Sister Act 1 maybe like a week and a half ago. And I'm like, man, this is such a good movie. But then I thought to myself, oh no, 2 is an even better movie. Ooh. And Kel says, intimacy is my wife listening to me practice my bass while she's gaming. Ooh. Oh, those are the best moments in a relationship. Like you're playing your instrument and they're doing their thing. That parallel play intimacy. Oh my gosh. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. Demetrius, congrats on the ADHD assessment. Hoping you can get medication soon. Okay. Congratulations. Now, I know the meds are a game changer for me, so hopefully they can help you out. Gabrielle, I know. Look at those beautiful eyes. Shiesty. They're talking about you, Shiesty. Toya, what's going on? They're talking about you, Shiesty. And she encourages me along the way. Right, and look, after you've been with somebody for quite some time, that's when the relationship starts to deepen. Shiesty. Hey, Shiesty. Good. Look at you being so cute. And before I got this dog, I was afraid of dogs, believe it or not. See, we even shake the same way. That's a thing that we both do. Look, now she's trying to get me to scratch her. Shasty. I was afraid of dogs before I got the dog. And then after a couple of months, the connection started to form. And now it's hard to be without the dog. That's intimacy. Object permanence. It scares me that I couldn't see my wife for a week. I wouldn't care as much. She's no rock. And when it's like this, you know that you've done right. And you can get to this level, but if you can't make it past that love bombing stage, it might be wraps for you. I was recently diagnosed with selective mutism. I've had it since childhood, but I just got it addressed. But this tends to kill my relationships with love bombers quickly. Even if I warn them, I tend to go silent from either hours, days to a week. I know it's hard to deal with, but it makes the pain of the breakup worse. Angel, this is very interesting. I never really thought about Zoe, relax, baby. Relax, try to stay. I never really thought about the love bombing from the selective mutism perspective. It's very, very interesting. Because you have to, not that you have to, but communication is normally verbal, especially when you meet somebody. I think if you're already locked in with somebody and you tell them that it's hard for you to talk at times, they'd be more understanding. But right when you meet somebody, and if they don't know what selective mutism is, it can look like you're trying to be rude or mean. And I think that the fact that it kills your relationships with love bombers could be a good thing, but then it could impact your relationships where you're trying to take your time. So I definitely understand how this can be difficult. Thank you for sharing. Good Zoe. It's no longer about the really fiery dynamic moments. You have to nurture the slow burn. Right. Those are the slow burn type of relationships are the ones that tend to last. Now, I will say, to be fair, I have seen love bombing or love bombed relationships work. And I don't know the science of this, guys. I don't know the science. But I've seen relationships where on the very first night, it's on and popping. You go over to their house, they go over to your house, you kicking it, the Mickey Ficky, you doing any and everything. You having fun, you having intimate moments, with your clothes on, with your clothes off, in your city, out of your city, long road trips, talking about all your childhood trauma, your favorite moments, your favorite movies. And you've known a person for a week, and it's like you've known them for years. Like the classic love bomb. And I've seen those relationships last for 20, 30, 40 years. So sometimes you can take all the advice I'm giving you in this live stream and just throw it out. It may not apply to you. And I don't have an explanation for that. I cannot explain it. Your guess is as good as mine. So sometimes things are just meant to be. I think that's just things being meant to be. So this is why when people ask for advice and they say, oh, I met somebody and they're a really cool person. We spent like every day this week and we just met a week and a half ago. Are we going too fast? In theory, yes. Is this a good thing? In theory, no. Will it work out? Maybe so. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I can't explain that. I can't explain that. You just never know. Ray says, all my relationships move super fast. Ray, you might have to come up and get you an ADHD jersey. Come on up. That sounds very ADHD. All of my relationships move super fast. Yeah, come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Zo. No. Keno. Keno. Good Zo. Good Zo. Good Zo. Good Zo. God giving you butterflies. Guys, after you get past the age of 30, you don't want them butterflies. You can keep them damn butterflies. Keep the butterflies and keep the caterpillars too. That butterfly type of love, the older you get, you're like, nah, just give me that. Give me that cockroach love. That snail love. I don't want that butterfly, that caterpillar love. That's the love that get you killed. Watch out for that type of love. Watch out for it. Oh, Ray, you do have ADHD. Oh, okay. You're 51 today. Happy birthday, Ray. Y'all drop a happy birthday, Ray, in the chat. 51 today. Happy birthday. You got your ADHD diagnosis earlier this year. And all your relationships move super fast. See, this is why I tell y'all all the time that a diagnosis is so important, because it makes things make sense. It makes things make sense. My mental illness is ADHD and depression and probably a couple more. What's wrong with the butterflies? Y'all still want that butterfly love? Come on now. Come on. Yeah, like, aren't we grown? We don't want that butterfly love. Let me get that cockroach love right there. Let me get that cockroach love. Happy birthday, Ray. Happy birthday. 51 a day. 51 a day. Love bombing is sometimes not love bombing. No. Love bombing, when it's mutual, doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm still going to call it love bombing, though. I'm still calling it love bombing, but it might be a mutual love bomb. I had a buddy of mine. Yeah, I can share this story. Not the one I really wanted to share. But I had a buddy of mine who he met this amazing girl, and I won't tell you who it is, but he's a public figure as well. I can't even say what he does because I gotta keep it private. But a buddy of mine is a public figure. He's on Instagram. That's as much as I'll say. But he met this girl who DM'd him, and believe it or not, we see the DMs that y'all send. Not all the DMs, but we see the DMs. So this girl shoots her shot with him, and she doesn't think that he'll read it. But he read the message because she's hot. So like, you can see her picture, and like, oh, she's fine. And she came to one of his events. I won't tell you what type of event it is. It's not important. But she came to one of his events, and they became a couple, like full steam ahead. And they came to my place in LA, and I didn't know that they were already a couple, but he said, "Hey man, I'm talking to this girl. She's hot, blah blah. She's super cool. She likes what I like. I like what she likes." I'm like, "All right, go ahead and send me her Instagram so I can see at least 3 of her photos, and make sure that I don't know, ain't like, let me just make sure that I can scan her and make sure she's cool, that we don't know her from any other circles." So I looked at her profile. I'm like, okay, yeah, she's pretty. This is dope. And they pull up to my place, and on the way there, he calls me. And he's like, "Oh, I asked her to be my girlfriend." I'm like, "Bro, this is a little fast. It's a little fast." He's like, "Oh, bro, I'm digging her. And they agreed that it was a mutual love bomb. And while things were working, it was great. It didn't work out, but it was a mutual love bomb that both people had no, issues with. It worked. I mean, the relationship didn't last, but I'd say it worked out, and both people got what they wanted out of it, I think. But it, like, When things were good, it was good. And I'd call it a love bomb. They call it a love bomb. They call it a love bomb. Taking things slow is definitely important, but I love to have the butterflies too. Well, Amy, if you want the butterflies, you can have the butterflies. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. Go for the butterflies if you want. I'm gonna take the cockroach love. And look, I grew up poor, so we were so poor that I would go into the kitchen for a syrup sandwich, and I would cut on the lights, and I would see cockroaches all over the floor. Like there was not a single place that I could step that didn't have cockroaches. I had to take my foot and then hover over the cockroaches so that they would scatter away, and then I could step. That's how poor we were. So I don't like cockroaches, but I would still take the cockroach type of love over the butterflies type of love. We too grown for butterflies. Oh, Leilani, we're cooling. Thank you for asking. We're cooling. Magic of Mike says, I move fast often. I move fast, then I often get bored on my relationships. And that's why I said you can't go too fast. Because you're going to get bored. You found out everything about the person. And one thing I know about women don't want a predictable guy. I always stay unpredictable in my relationships. You never know what I'm gonna do. I might say I'm gonna stream this weekend, and I wake up on Saturday. I say I changed my mind. I'm going to Cincinnati, and I don't know what I would do in Cincinnati or why I would go there. But I say unpredictable. I might do something different. I might sign up for a boxing class. I might go snorkeling. Not even do those activities. I might go hiking. You gotta stay unpredictable. You gotta have some edge to you. You gotta have some edge to you. You need to live at edge. I have to have predictable and habits and behavior. Now, Leilani, all right. So when I said you want to say unpredictable, I forgot that we have a neurodivergent community here, and some people's autism might not want the unpredictability. So just want to say that. I just think that even the most autistic woman still wants you to have a bit of an edge. Maybe surprises that can be anticipated, but some novelty. Especially if she has ADHD as well, she will want novelty. She will want some novelty. And the cockroach analogy, yes. So cockroaches move. Well, actually, I've seen some pretty fast cockroaches. So that might not be the best analogy. Like when you come from the hood, cockroaches have superpowers. The cockroaches I grew up with have superpowers. These cockroaches can be fast. Some can go slow, but they can go hella fast. I mean, some cockroaches used to fly, and it would freak me out. So, I mean, these cockroaches are, hood cockroaches are different. But I meant to say that cockroaches are slow. Snail might be a better example because all snails are slow, supposedly. Whereas, butterflies, when you get butterflies in your stomach, you're so, like you're so overwhelmed with emotion that it's hard to make rational decisions. It's hard. Candace, way to go. And Misty, the flying cockroaches are very scary. If you've never seen a cockroach fly, it will freak you out. Amy says, for me, it's because I've only had 3 relationships in the course of my life. So I think you can still have affection without having the butterflies. I just feel like people overlook a lot of things in the name of butterflies. Anytime you're very emotional, it becomes hard to make a rational decision. Maybe this isn't the person for you, but because you have butterflies in your stomach, you let things slide. Leilani, you could be on the spectrum. Martha, come on up and get this neurodivergent jersey. Bored is healthier. I agree. The boring relationships are theoretically healthier. If you can just sit there and be bored with somebody, that's a really good sign. Because, I mean, it's hard for us to be bored on our own. And this is why I've made it a priority to become better at meditation this year. It's so hard for me to sit here in this room and just look at the wall. But every day for 5 minutes, I do it. I'm going to have a day where I do it for an hour and I look at the wall until it drives me crazy. But guess what? I'm going to learn a couple of things about myself. I'm going to learn some things. It would drive you crazy. But sometimes you have to just sit there and look at a wall for an hour. Dealing with boredom is something that we got to figure out how to do it at some point. Seriously, Jay says, I'm 33, just got diagnosed with ADHD. It's been hard knowing my symptoms ruined past relationships. And those are the people that I'm looking for. Because I feel like my symptoms interfere with a lot of relationships. And this is right when I was, I was still in school. I was working on my last degree, my doctorate. But I was realizing that my symptoms were affecting my relationships. This desire for novelty, or I got this girl here, but then my eyes like I would be cross-eyed. Like I would be with my girl, and I want to be faithful, but then my eye, like I'll be cross-eyed. Like I'm like, damn, like she walked by, like damn, she got fat. Damn, I'm like like it was hard to just stay on the straight and narrow. And this is around the time that I got diagnosed with ADHD, and the medications made things easier for me. And getting sleep, it made me less jumpy, I will say. Which is why I always say if you can get diagnosis and get treatment, it'll be helpful. But like I was like, damn, we want her to, like it was just hard to keep my mind straight. So ADHD can definitely affect relationships. It can ruin your relationships. It can ruin marriages. Yes, treat your ADHD like yesterday. It's tough. It's tough, and it's made me aware of some self-sabotaging tendencies. But when you know yourself more, you can put together a plan, and you won't be as affected by it. It'll still be there because the ADHD is not going anywhere, but you'll understand yourself more, and you'll have more empathy for yourself. You won't judge yourself, at least not hopefully. Best treatment for ADHD: anything that regulates your focus and your attention and your mood. Ray says, I left my first husband because I didn't like marriage. Who knew it was neurodivergence? And then look, we could do a whole live stream on this, but I have seen some videos on TikTok, and initially I was judging these women, guys. I'm not gonna lie, Dr. Kojo was judging these women because I would see these videos on TikTok where women would come up and say, I'm thinking of leaving my husband. There's nothing wrong with him, and he's a great father, and I love our kids, but I'm thinking of leaving my marriage because there's just not a spark there. And I was like, why would this woman ruin a perfectly good marriage, and why would you do that to the kids? And then I thought about it from a different perspective. I said, oh my goodness, what if this woman is dealing with undiagnosed ADHD and or autism? Some type of neurodivergence where she can't be bored. And maybe the guy isn't a bad guy, but maybe he's just too predictable and she needs a little bit of novelty. Maybe they should do some role play. Maybe he should take her on an ice cream date that costs $7. Not like you have to break the budget. Sometimes you've just done the same thing for too long in a row, and your woman needs to just switch things up. And while I look at it from that perspective, I had a lot more empathy. Now, I'm still not condoning like what she wanted to do or saying it's a good or a bad thing. I don't want to put a good or bad label on things. But sometimes the reason why you self-sabotage a situationship or a marriage or relationship was undiagnosed neurodivergence. Yeah. Yeah. Ray Ray says he was a great guy. I just felt like I needed to run away. Could be. Could be. But in these instances, when you feel like you have to run away, having a healthier alternative will give us more confidence with the decisions that we make. Because maybe you just book a hotel in your city for a weekend and y'all switch it up and it saved the relationship. And all relationships, I don't care if you're dating Madonna or Kim Kardashian or Will Smith or Brad Pitt, whoever, all relationships will have highs and lows. And during the lows, it'll feel like you need to leave. And sometimes you just need a different thing with the same person. So, and somebody said, you could just be poly. Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe so. But the thing, here's the thing with poly, guys. I don't think people realize this. The thing with poly, to my understanding, is that like if I were poly, it'd be I, Kojo, have 3 girlfriends or whatever. You're still in a relationship with them. To my understanding, poly is like 3 people, like one or like whatever. You have to give attention to 3 different people. Oh my goodness, that sounds exhausting. 3 text messages is too overwhelming for me to reply to. I'm like, damn, 3. I gotta text 3 people back. I'm doing that every single day. Guys, I'm stressed. Just think about it. Right, that's overwhelming. I think poly sounds great to everybody in theory, but then text 3 people every day. Oh my gosh. Man, there's a lot. Right. Like 3 people. That's a lot. That's a lot, guys. I mean, to me, like, and Akina says 3 mad women. Right. Like, if you can't make 1 woman happy, you want to try and make 3 women happy? You failed at making 1 woman happy. And you said, no, I gotta go attempt to make 3 women happy. What? That's a lot. That's a lot. My lap is, buddy, I'm too overstimulated. And it sounds like a lot. Like that's why I don't characterize myself as poly. I think you can be attracted to multiple people, and that's fine. You don't have to talk to everybody that you're attracted to. You can see somebody's attractive and say, cool, and go about your day. When you realize how much energy it takes to give one person, and nothing against the poly community, guys. I'm not nothing against them. This is not an attraction issue. It's a energy issue. It's a me being tired issue. This is a lot. It's a lot. My goodness. I'm like this with dating sites. Too many messages, so I just give up. Well, Andrea, that's the advantage of being a woman. But sometimes a curse too, because too many options is hard. Too many options on dating sites is hard. Leilani, great question. Do you think rejection sensitivity in neurodivergent individuals makes us want to run? Maybe there's a component of shame when it comes to being rejected that will make you want to self-sabotage. So potentially. Peace of mind issue. I mean, I think in every breakup I've had, there's always a component of me wanting peace of mind. Like, just let me breathe. Let me breathe. Like I don't care. Like, I'll give you some money. Disappear. I need peace of mind. Which is why the poly community, congratulations, is hard. Being poly doesn't mean you need to be in multiple relationships. It's a framework. Oh, okay, okay. So I don't know all the rules of poly. It's a framework. So Apple user who's saying this, can you be poly and um, you talk to um, like your three girlfriends like once or twice a month? That's 6 days that that's 6 days where you have to talk to them. Like, is that a framework that can work? 6 days out of the month. That's still a fifth of the days in the month. Is that how that works? Is that how that works? Any advice for the recently diagnosed, not interested in men at all right now? Want to find your true self? If you're recently diagnosed with any type of neurodivergence, I don't think that's the best time to date. I think that's the best time to run 100 miles an hour towards finding your true self, being able to speak up and tell the truth, being honest with yourself. And relationships will naturally happen. But if you're just recently diagnosed, I mean, you can date, but your priority should be finding yourself. Be as selfish as possible. And if somebody works in the way into your life, great. But be as selfish as possible because you've been people pleasing for far too long. Do you think neurodivergent people are more suited to be with each other in a relationship? I do think so. I do think so. But you can still date neurotypicals. Okay, Cupid. Shout out to Okay Cupid. Shout out to him. I know that website worked. Yes, you can do anything you want the other people you love agree to. Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know it was like that. So you can do whatever you want in the poly. Okay, okay. I think it sounds great in theory. But I'm sure there's a poly couple or something like that works out there. It has to be. I'm sure. I've always had an issue with believing in pure monogamy. And look, Bunny, that's the type of thing that you tell people at the beginning of a relationship. And Bunny, knowing you, I know you would, but you got to mention that at the beginning of a relationship. You can't, but why be bored? Yeah, Leilani, you want to heal. You want to heal. And when you're not looking, that's when you tend to find a lot of things. Relationships are no different. Like if you ever lose your keys in the house and you want to find them, stop looking for your keys. In fact, tell yourself, I'm not looking for my keys. Like who needs car keys? Like I'm gonna walk to the store. I'm gonna walk to Tennessee. I don't care. Like I don't need my keys. And the keys will pop up. But if you're looking for the keys and you put the energy into the universe, the keys will find a way to avoid you. You have to talk to yourself and say, I don't need my keys. I hate my car. And then the keys will pop up. The keys will pop up. ADHD diagnosed, and I don't know if I want a relationship because I don't want to share my bed or my room. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And I've become so much more protective over my space now. And I guess the older I get, I'm just more unapologetic. Like I need my space. Like when let's say somebody's over at your house, sometimes their mood can take over the energy and the vibe of the area. I don't want that. I want to feel happy when I feel happy. I want to feel sad when I want to feel sad. I want to control and dictate the terms of the mood and the environment. And it can be tough to do that with somebody over. Like I just love being by myself. I just love it. Congratulations, Lonnie. 11 years. Congrats. Monogamous like a penguin. All right, penguins monogamous. That's funny. Jake, Jake, facts, facts. Some people have an overbearing presence, Jake. Jake, that sounds like a man who's looking for true peace. Jake, I don't know why I feel you so hard on that, but yes, some people can have an overbearing presence, and they step foot into your house, and you're like, oh my god, oh, you feel like you're locked in prison. Jake, I know what you're talking about. I wish I didn't, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And I mean, I can speak on behalf of guys. Sometimes this could be a friend who you love, but they have to be like they gotta be over there and you're over here. This can be a friend, or this can even be a girl that you told God, you're like, God, please, this girl's so bad. Please, 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 God, like if you let me get this girl, I won't ask you for nothing else. 2 months later, that same girl that you prayed for is sitting on your couch, and like you're stuck in this room. You're like, you're like plotting a way that you can disappear without like her finding out. But then if you disappear and then you're on Facebook Live, she's like, oh, he's at home on Facebook Live. I'm like, no, I'm streaming from China. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like you plan your own kidnapping. Have you ever wanted to get out of a situation so bad that you thought about planning your own kidnapping? Yeah, like okay, I could just tell the cops that like I was kidnapped and I was going to the store. I was on my way to Kroger's, and then somebody pulled up in a black van, and then they kidnapped me. Um, okay, all right, and then so it gets so bad. Think about, and I must like guys who leave their family. I just want to say I don't respect that. Let me preface what I'm about to say by saying that guys who leave their family, I don't respect that. All right. With that being said, I want to know what went through the first guy to leave his family's mind. The guy in 1942 who decided that he was going to leave Norman, Oklahoma and drive to Gary, Indiana and start a whole new life. Because back in the day, you could do that. Like, what was going through his mind? What was going through his undiagnosed neurodivergent brain to where he was like, I'm under so much stress that I'm going to plan my own disappearance. Like, you go to the beach and you leave your shorts there, you leave the shoes there, you leave your favorite bottle of beer there, and you set the scene to where it looks like you drowned in the ocean. You told your family that you went to Miami, Florida to go enjoy time with the boys. You say, I'm going for my high school reunion, my 5-year high school reunion. And you go to Miami and you plan this whole scene, and then you make sure that somebody's there so that they can relay the information to the news outlets. And like, all right, okay, cool. My wife thinks that I passed away. Now I'm going to go to Gary, Indiana, or even better, I'm going to take a flight to Norway and create a whole new personality for myself and a whole new life. What was that guy going through for him to plan his own disappearance? I'm not saying it's right. I ain't saying it's right, but that's a guy who had no peace. I ain't saying it's right. I ain't saying that it's right. I'm not saying it's right. Yeah, look, sometimes you want a new life. And guys, I know we can relate to that. Sometimes you just want a new life, a new personality, go somewhere where nobody knows you. You're going to start all over with the knowledge that you already have. Now, I feel bad for his kids. You know, they weren't able to grow up with a father, which is not good. But this man was under so much pressure and stress that he had to create a whole new life for himself and fake his own disappearance. And guys, they have stories like this. This is still happening in 2025, where people are faking their own kidnapping and their own deaths so that they can go and live their own lives. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, you can thank monogamy for that. Monogamy, uh, it can be very restrictive. Yes, it can be very restrictive, but at the same time, like also keep in mind that we don't have to sign up for that if you don't want it. The pressure, the pressure is getting worse. You don't have to sign up for it if you don't want it. Like, just let the person know in the beginning, hey, this is how I roll. I'm gonna need 3 partners that I'll talk to once a month or whatever. Let them know. Now, when you get with somebody and it's under the expectation that it's gonna be you and them, and then you switch up 3 years down the line, all right, that's not fair to anybody. Okay, that just ain't fair. You decided to wake up one day and you said, "I want let them know off the rip, or as soon as you know." Um, mm. He didn't want to pay alimony and child support if he divorced. Ah, it was a financial decision. Ah, okay. I didn't think about that. Wow. And hmm, we're gonna have a live stream on neurodivergence in marriage specifically. We gotta have it. We gotta have it because I have I've always had interesting thoughts about marriage. And this is before like the whole Dr. Kodo thing and the 5 million followers. This is before all of that. I think now people can see how I can be a bit apprehensive about marriage. Like, all right, guys, like I worked my whole life to get this. I don't want to lose half of whatever. But I've always had an interesting perspective when it comes to marriage, where I'm like, this is forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. And it's so easy to get into, but so hard to get out of. Why does marriage have to feel like Hotel California? You can check in, but checking out takes an act of Congress. Like literally, the government is involved into your relationship. You enter this legal binding contract with your neurodivergent brain. Know that it's very hard to get out of. Think about it. I'm not saying it's a beautiful thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but think about it. Think about it. Especially going into marriage with undiagnosed neurodivergence. They all are fighting and you don't know what's going on. You gotta have this conversation one of these days. We gotta have this combo one of these days. We gotta have it. Love bombing is a thing for narcissism as well. No, there is a link between narcissism and love bombing, but it's not exclusive to love bombing. How you tell people you're dating that you go silent once in a while by saying it just like that. I go silent every now and then. Seriously, Jay says I would love that stream. I've been married and don't think I want it again. Now they do say that the overwhelming majority of people who get married and divorced, like the overwhelming majority of people who marry once, then get divorced, do marry again. But all the people who are currently married right now that I talk to, 95% of them tell me that if this relationship didn't work out, they would not be married again, which is a pretty frightening thing to hear. It's pretty frightening. We will have this neurodivergence and marriage live stream, and if you look at what you sign away in the marriage, it'll make you think twice about it. And this is not an anti-marriage stream. Marriage is a beautiful thing. You should just think about it. Be very careful. Be very careful. uh, my girl is pregnant. Mm. I question what the benefit is for women in general. A shorter lifespan, I mean, I think that women benefit more from marriage, but it depends on who you're marrying. If you're marrying somebody who's not worth a damn, then no, you don't benefit from it, regardless of what gender you are. Um, uh, menopause. Okay, I can actually bring on an expert for that. And Sarah, I think if you're on the same wavelength as your partner, yes, then the relationship will work, like it's working with you right now. I've learned I enjoy living alone much more. A separate house might work, right? And sometimes people just need their own space. Sometimes you just need your own space. You just need your own space. Sometimes you don't have to leave your person. Sometimes your person is the right person for you. You just need some space. And that group of people, I really want to get through to them, because I would hate for people to up and leave their relationship and self-sabotage because of how you're feeling in the moment. I don't want you to suffer, but I don't want you to bail on a relationship just because of how you're feeling on a particular day. You might just need some space and 8 hours of sleep. Honestly. Do you think sometimes people on the spectrum want to get married because they think it's cool? People on the spectrum don't do anything just because, from my knowledge. People on the spectrum normally, things have to make sense before they do things. So I would say that neurotypical people is the neurotypicals who want to get married just because it looks cool. The autistics that I know tend to be very logic based. uh, Separate houses, separate houses. I like that. We are bandwagonists. We feel love and like affection too. I agree. HRT, coffee, Botox, and alone time. Magic combo for PMDD. Ah, interesting. My partner is on the spectrum and I have ADHD, but divorced. So I'm wary of. Hey, guys, this is not to say marriage is a bad thing. I still believe it's a beautiful thing, but we should be mindful of any contract that we sign. And more importantly, know who you are. Know who you are. If you know who you are, you'll put yourself in situations where more than likely you'll succeed. It's kind of statistically a bad thing for women, to be fair. I mean, this is all arbitrary. But once again, depending on who you marry. If you marry somebody who's not worth a damn, then male or female, you're gonna lose. Miss Gath. I love how Miss Gath said, I would get married if I could get some agreeable, like alone time, separate rooms. And then Jay says 100%. All the guys who are unmarried everywhere in the world were like, we felt you right there. If we can get it in the marriage contract to where I'm legally entitled to alone time, my own room, uninterrupted time where I can play NCAA with the guys. Oh my God. Like, guys, we don't need a lot. I promise you, like this one room right here, I could have a one studio apartment with everything I need in this one room. This is a futon right here. This futon can be my bed. It can be my couch. I got a PlayStation right there. I can play my PlayStation games. I can go live on Facebook so I can talk to my community. I can take a nap here. I can put my fridge here. I can use restroom right here. We don't need much. We don't need much. Give me a nice little car, 1998 Toyota Corolla. Nothing too crazy. some In-N-Out patties for lunch, microwavable meal for dinner, cereal for breakfast, protein and creatine, go to the gym. We don't need much. We don't need much. We just need some peace. We don't need much. Leilani, thank you for being on this live stream as long as you've been. Thank you so much. We're just about towards the end of the live stream, but thank you so much. It's good to see you. Oh, you hugging here with the restless leg syndrome. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Seriously, Jay, right? Let's have some peace. Have I been homeless before? No, I have not. Yeah, less is more. Less is more. Have you ever noticed that the things that you thought would make you happy don't make you happy? Less is more. Less is more. My happiest moments, I'm hanging with people that I really care about and doing things that I love. Those are my happiest moments. It has nothing to do with a car or money or a house. Just give me a PlayStation, a futon, a fridge, and a Beat Up Corolla, and I'm good. I'm good. I don't need much. Oh, Leilani, you gotta get some rest. Speaking of rest, I know I gotta get some too. But I'm neurodivergent. I like staying up. I gotta get some rest. I gotta get some rest. About marriage contract to promote individuality and time alone. Guys, if I ever get married, I might put that in the contract. I might put that in the contract. Cassandra, I like this. Less is more. I put in the contract. Give me some NCAA time. Let me watch NFL on Sundays. Mike, I appreciate you. Ray, I'm a Sagittarius. I don't know if I believe in like all the different things like that, but I can give plenty of space. Like that's my default. I might forget about you. I just need some space. All right, guys, that's gonna be a wrap on our live stream tonight. Let me tell John. Ooh, live. Let John know. 1 second. Make it Ficky. Hey, John, I just provided you the copy for the video that I forgot to provide you the copy for, and we'll release it tomorrow. I do want to go live tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready for bed. But I'll need 20 minutes to finish up the last remaining tasks. But I would like to go live tomorrow at the normal time, 6:30 p.m. California time. And yeah, can you just send a snapshot tomorrow's schedule? I might even go live this weekend too, given that I'm not traveling this weekend. I don't think I am. I'm not. Yeah, I need to sit my ass down somewhere. Well, let me ask ChatGPT. Someone said, "What time is that UK?" I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Hey, Chat. If I go live tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. California time, what time is that in the UK? We're gonna get the answer right here. It is thinking longer for a better answer. That's not the hard, Chat. Come on. 6:30 p.m. California time tomorrow is 2:30 a.m. in the UK the next day. So that'll be Friday, 2:30 a.m. UK time. Mickey, Ficky. So yeah, for my UK boys and girls, that's pretty damn late. And as I straighten out my schedule, I'll let y'all know when I throw in the morning live stream, which will be y'all's late night show. So I gotta head out and get some rest in about 30 minutes from now. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for letting me do this. This is so cool. Y'all are the best community in the world. And yeah, I was late tonight, so I'll work on that tomorrow. Y'all are the best community in the world, and it's a pleasure getting to do this with y'all. So until tomorrow, peace, take care, and I love y'all. And try to get some sleep too. I'll do the same on my end.